Breaking news, Arsenal have just signed Martin Odegaard for £34 million plus bonuses, and he's currently in London having the second part of his medical done, finalizing the deal, and here we go, has been confirmed by no other than Fabrizio Romano. Martin Odegaard, welcome back to Arsenal, and hopefully you do well and smash it here at Arsenal Football Club. Well, what can I say? You know what? Martin Odegaard is a young prospect that we saw, last season have 12 appearances in the Premier League for us. We didn't see much of him, but we saw a short glimpse of him, and he did make a bit of an impact in our creativity in the midfield. But to me, a single player does not mask the problems we have at Arsenal Football Club. This signing right now is just one player off the shopping list. So now a creative attacking midfielder, although I would have preferred a player like James Maddison, who has a better profile type of player, although it was a very high price tag, and Leicester are very difficult with negotiations, as we saw with, Leicester, the way they did it for Ben Chilwell and what they did for Harry Maguire. Leicester are not at any position to give away their players easily, and, Arsenal did not want to wait on that. For Edu and for Arteta, Martin Odegaard has always been their number one priority, with James Maddison just keeping in mind on the sidelines. And you know what? At the end of the day, I am going to back Odegaard, although to me, I feel that, we could have gone for a better player. And it looks like Ramsdale's next on the list in terms of shopping. I'm not fond of Ramsdale at all, to be honest with you. Ramsdale is very, very poor in terms of goal distribution, in terms of communication with players he's been playing alongside. He's been relegated 3 times. I think the reason we're being linked with Ramsdale is because of this English quota from the FA. A lot of us really prefer Onana. For just $5 million. We can beat the market and go for a goalkeeper. Take a bit of a risk, although he can't train until September and can't register until the January following. We could beat the market with Onana and sell him at 40-50 million, what he was valued before his case happened. We can beat the market with a very good goalkeeper who has good ball distribution and plays out from the back, something that our current goalkeeper Leno lacks. And right now, Ramsdale coming up next looks really, really close and edging on, but hopefully that fails. I would have even taken an Areola or a John Stone as someone of my personal preference. But Martin Odegaard, you know what? I hope you do well at Arsenal, and I hope you work well under Arteta. Whether how long he lasts on the job is something, that time is ticking for him. He's getting the players he wanted. He did have a full preseason, and right now, there's no excuses for me. Our next signing needs to be a goalkeeper on the list, and if it's going to be Aaron Ramsdale is a different story, something I'll probably cover on in a later video. But if you guys like what you're listening so far, do make sure to leave a like on the video and do me a favor and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Big up everyone on the chat. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hopefully you guys are keeping well. And let me guys know in the chat box below, are you guys happy with Martin Odegaard? If this was last season, let's be real here, we would have all been ecstatic about it. But, we kind of have taken so much smoke from our rivals that Martin Odegaard, hoping that we would get James Maddison, really kind of pushed us to not really appreciate the signing. But to me, he is a good signing, and we have got him permanently now for a good price. Hopefully he does well. He doesn't have to isolate, so hoping he plays against Chelsea so that we don't get ripped apart in our own yard by Lukaku, who is going to have his debut appearance at Arsenal, against Arsenal at the Emirates. And, it's going to be a London derby, and I know the games aren't sold out, but that's something I need to mention here is, although I hope Martin Odegaard does well, there's a lot of problems we have in our management that has been ongoing for many years. Ever since David Dean sold the club to Stan Kroenke, we've been seeing nothing but the same old Arsenal and managers hiding behind, the flaws of our owner, an owner who doesn't care about the state of Arsenal Football Club until it hurts his pockets further and further. And with that being said, this Sunday before that Chelsea game, if you guys are able to go to London, to go to the Emirates Stadium and join the protests for the Kroenke out, for Arteta out, whatever movement it may be, if you guys can make your voice heard, and like myself, if you guys are international fans and not able to attend that protest, then I highly recommend you guys make your voice heard, whether it be on social media, on YouTube here like myself, or on Twitter or TikTok or Instagram, retweet, post alerting people to attend the protest, and hopefully we can have our voices heard. Because if we don't speak up as much as we can and put more pressure on the owner, put more pressure on Arteta, not accepting mediocrity and not, queuing up to buy the shirts, giving money to the Cronkies, not a penny more. We don't deserve to pay the highest prices in London just to see us get battered by a team newly promoted to the championship. And, I really hope we improve this season, but I'm not looking confident so far. It's looking shaky, and a lot still needs to be done in this transfer window. Right now, we've just ticked off the box of a central attacking midfielder, but we still have a lot more work to do at Arsenal Football Club. And this signing doesn't distract me from that. And I hope it doesn't distract you guys from that as well. We need to highlight the fact that we need a goalkeeper urgently. Leno is very poor on goal distribution, ball distribution, not very clinical, although he's been good, in the long run, we're seeing a lot of flaws with him, and we're seeing a lot of mistakes that we saw last season. And similar with individual players at our Arsenal Football Club, players like Pablo Mari and Holding, they're just not good enough. But we have to stop with this expectation of one Marquez signing coming to fix every problem we have with Arsenal Football Club. Because although we're in this kind of rebuild stage, it's going to take us, a bit of time to get where we need to be. But with that being said, I'm not going to accept a player like Ramsdale when we can easily go for Onana at $5 million and beat the market. Ramsdale is going to be a very questionable signing for myself to justify personally. If they put on the Arsenal shirt, that's a different story. Hopefully we don't get Ramsdale, but the links are looking very, very more likely. Now with Martin Odegaard, welcome back to Arsenal at £34 million plus bonuses. I hope you do well. You're a very young player. Hopefully you do well and fight for your spot to prove yourself at a full season of Arsenal Football Club. And I hope you mesh well and work well with the players we have in our squad. With our strikers currently being out ill, with COVID, I'm not sure how far that's true as well. Hopefully, if they do have COVID, I wish them well, and I wish them a speedy recovery for Aubameyang and Lacazette. Hopefully, Odegaard will be able to play against Chelsea in our own yard, and hopefully we don't get battered. We do have a good record against Chelsea, but as I just mentioned before, Lukaku is ready, and Lukaku is ready more than ever before, guys. He is agile, he is lean, and Conte has put him to work. And you know what? I just hope we put up a good performance, because it's a London derby, and ain't nobody want to lose a London derby. You know what? The second half of the season, Ødegaard did do well for us. We just saw a sample of him, so hopefully we get a larger picture of him and he gets a lot more game time on the pitch. Hopefully fans, do support him and back him. Although to me, I do feel that, of course, we could have gone for a player like James Maddison if the club was willing to spend the peas for him. James Maddison was something we did have in the sideline, but it never looked like we were after him in the first place. It looked like they wanted to spend the funds otherwise in other areas. Hopefully that goes into a better goalkeeper than Aaron Ramsdale. I can't justify Ramsdale coming to Arsenal Football Club when he's been relegated at 3 different clubs and he's conceded over 105 goals in the last season. Playing under different managers, playing under different teams, and you still can't get it together. It kind of, I know goalkeepers take a lot more time to age and really get into the game, but I hope, I would even take a player like John Stone coming in as a goalkeeper. But with this new Brexit rules and the FA with the homegrown quota, it's going to be interesting to see who we get as our goalkeeper. Another player I really hope that does well is Sambi Lokonga. Lokonga has been really calm on the ball, really good with passes, not afraid to get on the ball and not afraid to make cross-cutting corners. I really like his pace, his agility, his movement on the pitch. He looks like a player willing and wanting to be a first-team player, a starter, and looking to prove himself under Mikel Arteta at Arsenal Football Club. Now, keeping this in mind, I don't know how long Mikel Arteta is going to last on the job. Let's be real here. He's under a lot of pressure more than ever, and with fans back at the stadium, I don't know if that's going to be working to our advantage. I know a player like Aubameyang works well under fans, works well in the ambiance of a full-packed Emirates Stadium. But hopefully our strikers can find their shooting boots again and get back into, the Aubameyang that we saw in that 2018-2019 season. Because I really want Aubameyang to turn up as the Aubameyang that we knew him as before. Now, if you guys like what you heard so far, do make sure to leave a like on the video. And if you guys are watching me on Twitch or on Twitter, come over to my YouTube channel. It's called Miss Melina, and do make sure to leave a like on this video and do make sure to subscribe. With that being said, Fabrizio Romano has already confirmed that Odegaard is basically in final stages, completing the second part of his medical. And tell me what you guys think. Are you guys happy with this signing? Did you expect more? Hopefully, it's just one check mark from a cam, and we need a lot of positions to focus on. With just under 12 days left of the transfer window, I don't see much progress happening, guys. And I just feel like we're setting ourselves up for the same as last season, where we're waiting deadline day, possibly to sign a goalkeeper. Hopefully, Hussam Arour is someone that, we're still being linked to. I really hope we can get Aouar. Last season we didn't get Aouar because of his brother. He demanded more money from him. And we got Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey was injured most of the season. And right now, Thomas Partey is currently injured, assuming he'll be back after the Man City game. We're having Martin Odegaard play at his young years, at his peak or more. Hopefully we see a lot more from Martin Odegaard and what he has to offer. He has been captain of his country. And I hope he does well at Arsenal. The minute a player puts on the Arsenal kit, you do have that ambition to want to support them, to want to back them. But some of the players who don't want to be here, I can't back them, and I can't justify why a player who doesn't want to be at Arsenal Football Club, like Hector Bellerin, we're struggling to sell these players. We're struggling to offload our deadwood in this transfer window, and that's something I'll probably be discussing in a different video. With that being said, James Maddison is a game changer and a goal-scoring threat, someone who would really bring in goals and assists in our midfield, bring in that creativity we need. But let's face it, one player is not going to make our fortunes any better. That's not how it works. And that's not just how it works at Arsenal Football Club. That's not how it works anywhere, because we need unity in this squad. We need squad depth. And right now, we don't have squad depth. We have a few players being improved, a few upgrades, an upgrade from David Luiz. Hopefully, Benny Blanco does well. An upgrade from Rob Holding. We have Sambi Lokonga and Tavares looking well as youngsters, wanting to prove themselves to get a starting position. And Martin Odegaard coming back to Arsenal. Welcome back. I wish you the best. I hope you do well. And, however long Arteta does last on the job is something very, very concerning, with more pressure last season than this season going forward, because we're only playing one game a week, and that's no excuse. We gave you a full preseason. We gave you Ben White. We gave you Odegaard. Kroenke is giving you the money to splash the cash. Are you spending it in the right areas? Are you addressing the right profile type of players when you're doing scouting? Are we getting the player we need? Are we getting players that want to play for Arsenal Football Club? Are we getting players that want to start? Are we getting players that want to prove themselves on the pitch? That's something I need to see more of this season, because last season, I'm telling you, there were players starting for us like Willian, who should have never been at Arsenal Football Club in the first place, with all due respect. We're Arsenal Football Club. We need to start acting like Arsenal Football Club. And it's going to take us time to get back to the Arsenal Football Club that we were before. And I don't know how long this is going to take, to be honest with you. We've given Arteta time. I still haven't seen much from him. And I think, to be honest with you guys, Arsenal Football Club should have never been near Mikel Arteta as a managerial signing. We had the option of signing Ancelotti at the time Emery was sacked. But instead, this club took advice from Jose Mourinho and his predecessors and went for Mikel Arteta, an inexperienced manager who came to the Arsenal job with a blank CV. Having won us that FA Cup and beating top 4 teams, having beating Liverpool in that Community Shield, does that really prove anything when we still finished 8th? Did we still really enhance our squad? Our first team signings right now have just been Benny Blanco and Martin Odegaard. It's going to be interesting to see, with just less than 12 days of that transfer window closing, are we actually going to get our business done? Because right now, we've been very slow in this transfer window. and we haven't been addressing the key areas we need. Right now, a cam was desperate. We've checked that off. Now, a goalkeeper is what I'm looking for. And a goalkeeper, hopefully, for the love of God, that's not Ramsdale. I want someone like Onana or even a John Stone I'd take. Let me know your thoughts in the chat box below. I just want to say thank you to everyone tuning in. I really hope Ødegaard takes the time to prove himself under, the Arsenal squad, and I really hope he improves under us. We've seen a glimpse of him last season. I want to see more from him, and I want to see more of what he can offer. Having watched him play for Real Madrid, he is a good player for them. And I just hope he meshes well with our squad and, works well in our squad. I know he's not going to improve the issues that we have in our squad and not going to be that single player who's going to be giving us a fortune. There's no player who's going to do that. Let's be real. Even if we got James Maddison would have improved our creativity and been a goal-scoring threat, been a game changer. But James Maddison is a bit on the injury-prone side, a lot higher of a price tag. We could have paid that if they had taken one of our 4 players that we offered, and they didn't want anything to do with that, which is fair. Big clubs don't want deadwood players, with all due respect. Arsenal still has major work to do in the market, and whether Arteta lasts long on this job or not is a completely different story, but you guys already know my views and my stance on that. I really hope Odegaard does well under our current squad, but right now I haven't seen much in this transfer window to say, oh, it's been a brilliant overhaul, it's been the best transfer window in the market. We haven't done much, and I'm not going to say it feels like that window where Arsene Wenger only signed Peter Cech. It's obviously better than that. I'm impressed by Sambi Lokanga. That's a player I want to see a lot more of. Odegaard is not a bad player. He is a good player. I did prefer James Maddison, as I mentioned earlier on in my live stream, just because he did offer a lot more of a ceiling and a lot more of a profile type of player that we should have been after. But this is Arsenal Football Club. We already know it's the hope that kills you. And, it's officially ruled off James Maddison coming to Arsenal Football Club at £34 million with bonuses. We've officially signed Martin Odegaard permanently with no buyback clause. And, he probably will be available to play against Chelsea. Don't quote me on that. He's finishing up his medical, and he should be announced somewhere midday Friday, hopefully at the soonest. But I appreciate you all for tuning in. This is just a quick one for me to share breaking news to you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you guys want to see more of my content, more of my videos, and if you guys play Fantasy Premier League and want to join my Fantasy Premier League, do check out my previous video where I went live and I discussed my Game Week 1 review, my Game Week 2 tips and advice for you guys going on to Game Week 2, which the deadline is this coming Saturday. I hope you guys do well, and stay tuned for my next FPL video coming up soon. If there's any more signings in this Arsenal transfer window, I will be doing a lot more Arsenal-related content, but also Fantasy Premier League content that I want to focus on. I am working on rebranding my channel, so you'll see a lot more in terms of graphics and editing. I'm trying to improve my video editing and hopefully to do well. Thank you guys for joining in my chat today. I did see a high of 20 plus people watching. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. I really appreciate your support, and hopefully you guys like and enjoy my videos. With all that being said, I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your week and take care. And last but not least, hopefully Arsenal don't disappoint us at the end of the transfer window. But let's face it, it's the same old Arsenal ways, and we're in for a long, 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 dark days ahead, guys. With that being said, this Sunday there is a protest at the Emirates. If you guys are able to attend the protest to show your support and to stand up against and speak up, to be a voice for international fans like myself, it would be greatly appreciated if you can attend the protest. As of now, that's all for me. I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day, and take care and keep safe. And adios.